Let me just talk about the program. So the program, the MSc in Public Policy, was established in 2014. It's been running ever since, and we've actually really had a good number of years, and our numbers have actually been quite good. So we run in full and part-time modes of delivery. The part-time mode is completely online. Full-time is primarily on campus, but you share some optional modules with some of the part-time students, and we really promote this because many of our part-time students are serving civil servants. So our full-time students seem to actually enjoy really meeting our part-time students in terms of networking. So we have a number of distinct student cohorts. We have our full-time EU students, primarily Irish. We have our full-time international students. They're mostly civil servants from other countries who've come to Ireland for the year to take the program. So each year we've 4 or 5 students from other countries who are full-time civil servants who are on a sort of a leave of absence or sabbatical to study in Ireland. We also have a significant part-time element to the program, and we really encourage interaction between our full and part-time students. So most of our part-time students are from the civil and public service, and with a smaller number from civil society or the private sector, but primarily civil society. So in terms of our full-time students, they tend to be recent undergraduates, so they completed undergraduate studies, and they're very, very keen to get into the area of public policy, often to work in either in government service or in policy advocacy or public affairs. And that tends to be where we draw our students from. Quite a diverse disciplinary background. So, I suppose that's always quite an interesting mix for the class. So it's not just law or economics. We get some from politics, history, geography, broader social sciences, quite a few from some business programs. So we're very keen to attract a wide variety of students. There's no particular disciplinary background preferred. And our experience has been actually that the students work well together and learn from quite a lot from each other. And again, as I said, just to reiterate how we really encourage interaction between our full-time and part-time students, that you gain a lot from that sort of networking activity. And again, we've structured the program around that, and we really incentivize and facilitate that type of interaction. So in terms of the program structure, you'll probably have seen from the university's page, if you look at the postgraduate programs in the law and government, the MSc in Public Policy, it's a 90 credit module or 90 credit program. You have to take 70 credits are core modules. So you have to do a significant research component, which is very applied. So instead of a traditional dissertation, you do what's called a policy assessment or policy analysis exercise, the PAE. And again, very applied, very structured around a client or a notional client. So we often work with students to work with an external partner. Many of our part-time students, because they're in government service, they actually bring a problem, a research issue to the program, and they study that. But we have we work with a lot of external partners, and they often submit research problems for us. So, we're very keen to encourage that sort of very applied research approach through all of our modules, and particularly with the dissertation equivalent, the PAE. In addition to the core modules, you have to take 2 optional modules. Now, there's a wide variety of modules on offer, everything from law and policy, banking law, EU banking law and policy, EU trade law and policy, EU institutional law. We have a number of modules to do with climate action, strong focus on climate change in cities. We have a module on the internationalization or environmental politics or environmental change in world politics, and something similar again in terms of the EU, where we look at climate action, policy and governance. In addition, we take a number of other modules. Like, for example, we have a new module on public policy evaluation, which is very applied and aimed at giving students an understanding of, well, it's one thing to analyze what makes a good policy. It's another thing to actually evaluate how successful a policy was. And we work to provide the students with the skills to do that. Now, I'm conscious that without the visual, you might be missing something. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Alternatively, I'm happy to take an email. So if anybody wants to email me, I'm at derek.o'brien@dcu.ie,